Hi, I'm Bernadette. How are you all? I'm the face behind the posts that are on this Committed to Daily Christian Prayer page. I'm so glad to have you all as my followers. For Lent this year, today is Ash Wednesday, and I decided to step out in faith and do something new. So here I am trying out a video blog. I'm going to try to blog every day around this time. And so I hope you'll join me every day as I reflect on some aspect of this journey of 40 days that we have before the resurrection of Jesus at Easter. Today I was reading some reflections. I usually read Regnum Christi and I read Bishop Barron. And both of them, of course, treated the issue of the three goals or the three pillars of Lent: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And both of them reminded us that those are actions that we do, not something that we sit back and think about and meditate on. We spend so much time meditating and paying attention to our spiritual life that sometimes we might forget to do things that show our life of faith. So Regnum Christi says, any attempt to build a spiritual life that neglects the pillars of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving is building their faith on sand. And then Bishop Barron says these three great practices of Lent are things that we do. And so just to affirm that, I was thinking about, well, what does it mean to not pay attention to our spiritual life, or to perhaps during Lent focus on acting and doing and not necessarily focusing as much on our spiritual life? And I thought, well, it's kind of like going to church during the week, going to a mass or going to a service, and then that's all you do. The rest of the week, we just go about doing our job and, doing all the normal things that we do in life. And we kind of keep church in this box over here, and the rest of the week, we just live as we normally live. And so that's one of the best reasons for reminding ourselves through our churches that prayer, fasting, and almsgiving are so important for us to focus on and to think about and to actively and consciously make a choice to engage in. When we pray, we might think, well, that's a pursuit of our spiritual life. But if we pray with authenticity, then God will guide us, Jesus will guide us to do. And so therefore we need to remember to pray. And perhaps we're going through our week just kind of, doing a quick, hey God, saying a little prayer here and there, but we're really not taking the time to focus our minds and our hearts on God and what God's will is for our lives in that particular day. We don't have to know God's will for 10 years from now. All we need to do is focus on today. And then fasting. Fasting is a discipline of the body. And again, we might think, well, that is kind of working on my own spirituality. It is a disciplining of the body. But at the same time, when we fast, we are called to use that time of fasting to give to others, which leads directly into almsgiving, right? Almsgiving, caring for the poor, or doing things for others. We find our most meaningful moments in those times when we give something to someone else, or when we do something for someone else. And that's where fasting and prayer and almsgiving all really do support our spiritual life, our internal life. But at the same time, they're acts that we do to prepare ourselves and to enable ourselves to say, yes, I want to be an instrument of God's will in this world. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow around this time. Pray well.